This is one of the tomato plants in my greenhouse, and it has not gotten anything on it all season. There's another tomato over here that has been bearing for probably a month, lightly, but it has been. And that's probably because there's no wind, there's nothing to shake the pollen loose in the blossoms. So I decided to do some checks to check on it, and it does have pollen. I've checked that, and so my guess is that it is partially, I'm assuming partially at this point, but I'm assuming that it is not able to accept its own pollen, or partially not able to accept its own pollen, because I've been walking through here and shaking the branches and so on, and it hasn't set a single fruit. So I pollinated one flower here, okay, and I do this pollination a little bit differently than most people. You can see that the petals of the I guess sepals around the outside have been pulled off. This is a normal tomato flower. What I do is I will emasculate the first flower, the female parent, and then I will take the flower off of the male parent, which I'm going to be using this one, and I had a blossom isolated, but I can't see it now, so that was back over, it's over there. So then I take the whole flower from the male parent, and I'll show you exactly how I do this. Now the first thing is to pick a female blossom, and I'm actually going to be working with one of these back here. So this one right here hasn't completely opened, and it's a little bit too mature. If we were working with a normal flower, that would probably be too mature. You look at these over here, and it's wide open, so those are definitely too mature. So I'm going to be working with this one, and it might be a little bit difficult to do with this with one hand. So I'm going to hold on. I'm going to pause you. Hold on. Okay. Now, I accidentally broke that flower off, so I picked a different one. This is what it looks like after all the petals have been taken off. So now I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to pick a fully open male flower, or a fully open flower. Now, tomatoes have both male and female in the same flower. So I'm going to take this one. It's not quite fully open, but it will serve the purpose. Okay. Now, okay. Let's see. I'm going to see. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can find a place to do this. Okay. Hopefully this works. Okay. So here's our male flower. And what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to take off the sepals around the outside. I believe that's what they're called, but anyway, I'm going to take off these petals around the outside. Okay. And then, and this is a part that I've never seen anyone do, but this is my process. I'm going to take the whole flower and yank it off. And you can see it came out without the center part of the flower. Now, the inside of the flower, all that piece that we tore off of that other, is the male. Okay, so let's take a look. I'm going to come back over here. Okay, I'm going to find my female flower. Alright, now this piece usually comes off whole once I get those sepals off. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to stick it over, if my hand will stop shaking, I'm going to stick it over the female part of the flower. Then I'm going to tip this up so that the flower doesn't fall off. Okay. Oops. Okay. Tip it up so that the flower doesn't fall off, and I'm going to shake it. and then set it back down. Make sure that it's stable. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do. That flower right there has now been pollinated, and I'll go get a tag for it, and hopefully in a day or two we'll start to see, not in a day or two, probably a week, we'll start to see development on these two flowers. And part of the reason that I'm doing this is because someone mentioned the other day that some tomatoes are self-incompatible, but because of the way the flowers are structured, quite often those self-incompatible flowers would probably be mistaken for male sterility, because the plant by itself would never develop without the help of bees. And bees cannot normally get into tomato flowers, so because they're so closed. So I decided to test this. So we've got two. We've got this one right here, and we've got this one right here. This one's already tagged. I put a little band around it. And I'll go inside and get a tag for this one. And then in a week or so, we should be able to see whether those have taken. There's no reason why they shouldn't. They've got the entire flower all around it, so we don't have to do any moving any pollen. And in a few weeks, I will show an update. Thank you.